Hello and welcome to Martyn Lucas Investor. My name is Sensei and we are here today for a very important watch party. Not only is it a watch party to celebrate, but we've got some real information for you. Ethereum going to all-time highs. I fully believe it. I fully think it's going to go there, and it might be sooner than you expect. We've now got rumors of 50 basis point rate cuts. Rate cuts could be happening. There can even be emergency rate cuts. We'll get onto that. XRP is now catching up, but is lagging behind. I'm going to tell you my thoughts on that, and if Ethereum is going to outperform XRP. Circle, we covered their earnings this morning, and a new blockchain that they have just launched today called ARC. We've also got the Bullish IPO starting tomorrow. So let me get straight into all of that. If you are watching live or if you're watching later on, please do me a favor. All you have to do is completely free. Smash the like button and subscribe if you haven't done so already. So, a lot to get through in this stream. Welcome everyone into the show. I hope you are enjoying the pump that we are seeing unfold today. What am I talking about? Well, Ethereum is now blasted past 4,500, which we expected this morning, and it's currently sat at 4,600. I'm going to wait to let everyone come in, and then I've got so many bits of information. I've got the Circle news, I've got the XRP ETF news, I've got the CPI news. All of this is coming up in the show. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 1 minute on the clock. So stay with me whether you're live or watching as a video. We're going to put 1 minute on the clock. We're going to put the music on to celebrate, and hopefully everyone will be in by the time the music stops. So a lot to get through. While the music is going, all you have to do is smash the like button. If you've already hit the like button, hit the like button in the comments as well. So here we go.
The year is 1991. Birds and people are living together in seemingly perfect harmony, until one day a young man catches fire. This is Phoenix.
Thank you everyone for tuning in. We're going to get into all the news. So smash the like button and then we're going to get into it. Thank you everyone for hitting that like button. In 30 seconds time, we're going to get into all the news.
Get ready for verse 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Okay, here we go. Let's get into it all right now. So, here we go. Let me end the music and let me get into it. Thank you for tuning in. So, Ethereum currently is sat at $4,600. This is a level that 4,400 is a level that we watched very, very closely. Let me just send the message here. Martyn is live as we speak, so I'm imagining everyone will come in at any second now. 4,400 was the level that we said we're going to break. 4,000 was the 4,000 was that level. 4,000 was the level that we touched 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Now we've broken out. Now we've broken out of the previous all-time high. It is all-time highs next. We're not even that far away from all-time highs. Remember, all-time highs for ETH are about $4,900. That's only another 6% away. So I do think we're going to break through all-time highs on Ethereum and start heading to our targets. My main target, my first main target, I should say, is for Ethereum around $7,300. That's a 1618. That's where I think this rally can potentially take us. Remember, nothing I say is financial advice. This is my thoughts and opinions only, so please do not buy or sell based off anything I say. I am a very high risk investor, so what I do is definitely not right for you. That is Ethereum's price. Today we covered the Circle earnings. Circle shares rose in the pre-market and they sold off later on, but as the second quarter revenue jumps 53% on strong stablecoin growth. Circle, remember the USDC token runs mainly on the Ethereum blockchain, so that's very bullish for that. We've got a lot more news, so let me go through some of these ones over here. We've got Secretary Bessent saying that the Federal Reserve should consider a 50 basis point interest rate cut in September. Now we are looking at a very high probability. This morning it was around a 94%. If I refresh this, let's see if this has changed at all in terms of probabilities or a rate cut. And it now looks like it's the same. 94% chance that we get a rate cut in September. That's what we are imagining to see take place. But the one bad thing about the CPI data that came out today was core CPI. It was actually higher than expected. This is in the background. I would take it into account. That is the caveat of what happened today. Actual was about 3.1. The estimate was 3, and prior was 2.9. So it does look like inflation, depending on the way you look at it, is still sticky at least, or even going up. Alongside that, everyone is now talking about Ethereum. Ethereum is everywhere online. That is bringing sentiment back into Ethereum and bringing a lot of FOMO into Ethereum. So what you're looking at is Coinbase tweeting out about Ethereum. You've got Forbes now calling for a $10,000 Ethereum. You've also got, we've covered that one there. You've got massive liquidations on Ethereum. In the last hour, 121 million worth of Ethereum shorts got liquidated. You can see over the last 4 hours, $130 million worth of shorts on Ethereum got liquidated. Ethereum is the star of the show right now, and that is probably going to continue. You can see 135 million worth of Ethereum shorts were liquidated in the past 60 minutes. That is crazy numbers. That means people have just got wiped out, and it, of course, is pushing the price higher. We've also got Tom Lee speaking, so let's listen into this. Let me go back over here. And listen.
But Ethereum specifically, why is it something you need to hold in your portfolio?
Well, to me, Ethereum's having its Bitcoin 2017 moment again. And to give perspective, in 2017, Bitcoin was under 1,000. But that was the year when Wall Street discovered that the narrative of Bitcoin is digital gold. And Bitcoin has gone to 120,000 now. So 120 times increase. In 2025, a couple things are happening around Ethereum. The first is the Genius Act is now making stablecoins kind of green-lighted, which is the ChatGPT moment for crypto, but it needs a smart contract, so it doesn't work on Bitcoin. The second is the SEC is pushing forward with Project Crypto, which is actually asking Wall Street to move the entire financial system onto the blockchain. Ethereum is the preferred choice for Wall Street because it's had zero downtime since inception, matching what the banks want, 100% uptime. It's also the most legally compliant and secure blockchain because it's recognized in the US and it's the second largest blockchain. And the third is almost all of it Ethereum. JP Morgan's building their stablecoin on Ethereum. Robinhood is tokenizing on Ethereum. You know, the custody banks are doing it on Ethereum. So it's really where Wall Street meets, but that's also where AI is meeting crypto. Because as you know, as we tokenize and move towards robots, you need a token economy to control them, which is taking place on Ethereum.
too, but Ethereum specifically.
And look at that. That is Tom Lee's prediction there. We are looking at potentially a 2017 moment for Bitcoin where everyone starts buying it and potentially on a verge of a 120x run as regulation opens doors, Wall Street stablecoins pile, and AI converges with all on Ethereum. So it is the second largest blockchain, and it is getting all the eyes right now. Everyone's getting liquidated. 135 million worth of liquidations. You can see that on this chart live. You can see that rate cuts could be coming to the tune of 50 basis points. Do I think we'll get 50 basis point rate cuts? No, I don't think so. But I can say I am very confident, and I've said it for a while, that September we get rate cuts. What else are we looking at? We're looking at this over here. So yes, Ethereum's doing well, but you have to look at the numbers behind the scene. And what you're looking at is Coinbase's earnings from a couple weeks ago. And what you can see here is actually XRP earned them more money than Ethereum. You can see XRP earned them more money on trading fees than Ethereum. That means more people are actually interested in XRP. And this tweet says, "What more trading income from XRP than Ethereum?" That wouldn't be the that wouldn't be the crypto that Coinbase delisted for over 2.5 years, would it? Surely not. So there you can see Coinbase delisted XRP. They didn't believe in it. And what's going on now is that more people are actually trading XRP. Well, that was from last season, from last quarter. So Ethereum is obviously gaining a lot of traction now, but XRP is not too far behind it. In fact, it was in front of it last quarter. That's the Tom Lee tweet over there. Now we're looking at the top tokens in the coin market cap. You've got Bitcoin at number 1 at 2.4 trillion. You've got 555 billion 555 billion market cap for Ethereum. And then you've got XRP here with 200 billion. In fact, that should be closer to 400 billion because of the way that they calculate market cap. They don't include what Ripple holds, but in fact, technically speaking, in my opinion, you should. So a few months ago, we reported that XRP's market cap was higher than Ethereum. Now it's lower. So it actually gives XRP more room to run towards the upside. Once it starts coming close to Ethereum's market cap in this sense, so that'd be about 2.5x, then investors will start getting wary. But that really lines up with our expectations. If XRP does a 2.5x from here, it gets close to the $10, the $8 to $12 bull market predictions on my end. My predictions for Ethereum this bull market are closer between 8 to 12,000. So very close, 8 to 12 and 8 to 12,000. Those are my prediction on Ethereum. Thank you everyone for tuning in now. We have gone through the majority of the information. We will be ending the stream shortly, but I'll give you a quick recap for everyone who's just tuned in. So if you have just tuned in from Martyn stream, thank you for tuning in. Please do hit that like button, smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't done so already. I will give you a recap of most of the things. So Ethereum, $4,000. I'm going to go through some more extra information as well, but we'll do a quick recap. $4,000 is the level that we kept saying it should break this time round, and it did, especially after Ethereum went back and tested 1,700. A lot of people were very, very late to this, and I'm not it sounds like I'm saying that Martyn was late to this, but Martyn has his reasons. He wanted to get in once he got the confirmation. He didn't want to gamble on it. He wanted to get the information directly from the sources. But a lot of people at $1,700 got in. That's when we were saying this is an amazing opportunity for Ethereum, and only 120 days later we're up 200%. We were talking about Ethereum in the bear market at $1,000, literally $1,000. It hit $900, our main target for the bear market, and we only had not too long to buy it back then, but we did. And now this is when everyone gets excited about it. This is when it starts getting a bit frothy, but this is when people make the most money. It's the last part of the market cycle, when it's altcoin season, when it's Ethereum season, that you make most of the money, but it's the part where you need to be most careful. You don't want to be holding the bag when it comes crashing down 70%, and a lot of people will lose. I do see Ethereum going to first target 7,300, the first area I'll look to take profits. Then 8 to 12,000 is the main target if we get a proper altcoin season. Nothing is guaranteed. $7,000 isn't guaranteed. All-time highs isn't guaranteed, but I'm quite confident of all-time highs and $7,000. But this is the most risky part of the market. This is when people come in, they buy the top, they think it's going to keep going to the moon, and then they hold the bag for 4 years for a recovery, and they probably will capitulate when it comes all the way back down. So you need to have a plan in place now. What price are you selling? Do you not care about the ups and downs? Will you not FOMO in when it's at 7,000? Will you not capitulate when we're back down at potentially 2,000-3,000? Have a plan in place. If you're holding long term, 5, 10, 15 years, well, good luck to you. Ethereum might not be number one by then, and also you'll go through a lot of emotional ups and downs, so you'll probably come out not very well, unless you're a seasoned investor and you don't mind losing all your money. You put it in a ledger and you wait 5-10 years. Good, and that's another strategy. My strategy is to take advantage of the very cyclical cycles we see in the crypto market. We are seeing diminishing returns and diminishing lows on these main currencies, so you're not going to get probably a 90% crash, and you're probably not going to get 1,000% moves up. They are diminishing on both sides of it. That's true for Bitcoin, true for Ethereum, true for XRP, but they all are trending towards the upside. But the main point is a lot of people are coming in late now, and there will probably be the exit liquidity at this point. So the last few months, I think there's not that many months left of the bull market. I think August, for most of the altcoins, Ethereum will certainly be outperforming them. That's what we said. Bitcoin and Ethereum are going to be outperforming the altcoins. That's what's been happening so far. I think we can certainly have a downturn. I am slowly changing that thesis to say that August might not actually be as bad as expected, but we will see. I was prepared for all scenarios, especially Bitcoin and Ethereum performing well. Anyway, a lot of people are going to come in, a lot of people are going to lose. You need to have your strategy in place so you're not exit liquidity for everyone else. You had Circle's earnings this morning. Circle shares rise as second quarter revenue jumps 50% on strong stablecoin growth. We got their new blockchain announced. We've got USDC being adopted everywhere, which runs on Ripple. On Ethereum. That brings me on to everyone saying, well, Ripple is going to not be as needed, as useful, as Circle's going to overtake everything that Ripple does. I completely disagree. I debunked that in my morning show when we covered the earnings. Go and check it out. They do pretty separate things, but the industry is quite big and can accommodate both of them. We've got XRP ETFs coming out. This is what I think is going to drive the last part of the altcoin season. It's going to be these altcoin ETFs coming out. Not only is an XRP ETF, I'm most focused on the XRP ETF, but there's Solana ETFs, Litecoin ETFs. I think that's going to fuel the last altcoin season of this cycle and the main altcoin season of this cycle. That's happening in October the 18th to October the 25th. I expect a flurry of XRP ETFs, and those ETFs will, as more people clock on to the fact that there's ETFs coming and we know the dates, they're going to start buying the rumor. I imagine that will start in September, and we can possibly have XRP at $4 or $5 in September, sell off on the ETF announcement when it comes out, then rally into all-time highs shortly after, just like Bitcoin did. Remember, today we had the CPI news. We were concerned that if there was hot CPI, that could completely crash the markets, especially with the unemployment going up, and if inflation was going up at the same time, the Fed would be out of control and they wouldn't know what to do. In fact, we actually got softer than expected. So people are now, and we said this morning, possibly justifying a 50 basis point cut. That was if it was 2.6 and lower. We actually got 2.7. And now we can see that Secretary Scott Bessent is over here somewhere. He is saying the Fed should consider a 50 basis point cut. So even though it wasn't as amazing as we expected, people are still calling for 50 basis point cuts. And that's, of course, fueling this rally as well. If anyone doesn't have access to a newsletter yet, what are you doing? If you're investing in the stock market, the crypto market, the macros, the bond market, if you're investing in the markets, if you want knowledge about the financial markets, and anyone who's watching the show really should, the real news, not the X hype, not the fake news, not having to subscribe to 40 different places to get the real news, all in one, ad-free, on a web page, on an app, or in your mailbox. You can choose. You can listen to it on the app as well. You get every single day, you get an edition of the Sensei morning forecast, where you get the one big thing, the money move of the day, what's happening in the markets. You get the 5 top stories of the day as well, whether that's Trump tariffs, whether that is Bitcoin institutional growth, whether that's Circle, whether that's Bullish IPO, whether that's all the news you need to know about different types of the market, whether that's a stock review, whether that's about XRP ETFs. All of it is in the newsletter, the economic calendar and the charts of the day, every single day, into your inbox. Go and try it out. This is a 1 week free trial. First link in the description and in the live chat right now. You'll go to this page with that. The annual plan gives you a 7-day free trial. It works out about 30 cents a day. I think it's definitely worth it. All the subscribers, I get so many very nice messages. I appreciate it, by the way, to all the premium members. And there's a monthly plan, and there's a free plan and a founding plan. The annual plan works out the best. Here is a cool visualization of altcoin seasons and where different, I'll have to mute that, where which cryptos stayed in the top 10, and it's always XRP, Bitcoin and Ethereum, and that's why it's very important to keep an eye on this and other tokens. So let me play a little bit of this. So you can see back in 2017, Dash was a big one, but it completely faded away. It means nothing now. Then it was XRP. You can see it, the massive lead XRP had over a lot of tokens. This excludes Ethereum, by the way. So you can see XRP was holding the #1 spot for a while. Then came Bitcoin Cash, IOTA for a second, but XRP once again was the third largest cryptocurrency. It is always there. I don't think it's going anywhere. You can see the massive lead XRP had. Bitcoin Cash came close a few times back in 2018, but XRP was leading the rally quite significantly. You can see some coins that were up there was EOS, Bitcoin Cash, Stellar, Litecoin, Cardano, Tron, and just to see, yep, XRP was still #1 for a long while, #1 after Ethereum. It only sort of started fading in 2021, where there was an altcoin season and XRP was suppressed by the SEC. So you can see that my bet is on XRP because it's been the top performer. It's always been in the top 10. It's never been out of the top 10, and it's been #3 and #2 for the longest period compared to any other token. So you can see even here in the COVID crash, XRP was still #3, and then we're going into the altcoin season where we might start seeing XRP fade between other tokens. Chainlink came out the door, BNB really started pushing, and then it was sort of a fight between Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, all of this. So it's very important to see, look how much strength XRP had. Then we went into the peak of the altcoin cycle. BNB came on top, even ADA and Dogecoin overtook it. Polkadot was close to, but it didn't. But XRP really did stay quite high there. ADA overtook BNB. So this, the reason I'm showing you this is to show you the strength from XRP and some of the other tokens I'm looking at the moment. You can see BNB was really up there. I'm not the biggest fan of BNB at all, but there is other tokens up there. Solana definitely performed very well. Anyway, we're going into the bear market now, so I'm not going to show you much of that. The tokens I am looking at on this is ADA. I've been buying that today. I told you earlier in the show I went on a leverage position, and that's now up about 40%. I'm looking at, obviously I've got a big bag holding of XRP. By big bag, it's not actually that big. It's just the largest part of my portfolio. We've got Solana up there. I don't hold that much Solana because of where we are in the bull cycle. It was much better in the bear market when I was around $4. Now it's near $200 or something like that. Dogecoin, I'm certainly looking at and I hold. Polkadot, I think, can perform pretty well. But there is tokens here and there that we look at. I'm looking at Flare token as well. That's one of my top picks. Please do subscribe if you haven't done so already. We're at 95,142. Okay, if you want to win $1,000 worth of XRP, I'm going to give you the link. The link is in the description. Also, here it is. All you have to do is log in, go in and claim your tickets. You can all you have to do is click on these, claim it. Even if you've already followed Martyn or you already subscribed to the newsletter, you can still claim your tickets. You don't have to unsubscribe and subscribe again. All you have to do is click on it and claim your tickets. So going through the last stories once again, 50 basis points is now being talked about. I don't think it will happen, but it can lead to rallies. We're not even pricing that in. No one is pricing that in the Fed Watch tool. We are still pricing in a 25 basis point cut, and there's a 94% chance of that now. A little worrying part of it is core CPI. Even though the CPI information was pretty good overall, core CPI is still concerning. The markets might want to digest this, or they might digest this. Core CPI was actually higher than estimated. The estimate was 3%. The actual was 3.1%. as well. So you can see it's rising as well because prior was 2.9%. Everyone is talking about ETH. This is a hype for ETH now. The sentiment is in ETH's favor. This is not necessarily a bad thing, but it just means that this is the time where people will start taking profits, because when everyone's bullish on something, the big players come out and take profits. I do think Ethereum will continue, but remember, people have already made 4x's on Ethereum if they bought, or 5x's depending if they bought at the bottom of the bear market. So when we were looking at it, people are coming in now, so be careful, but I still see a 3x on Ethereum, or just under at this point. You've got everyone talking about, even Forbes is predicting as a story on Ethereum to $10,000. I think 10,000 will be a big psychological resistance, by the way. We've got news that there is liquidations happening left, right and center. Over the last 4 hours, 130 million worth of Ethereum has been liquidated. So that is what's driving this up. Liquidations coming out, people getting liquidating and having to buy back their positions. 135 million worth of Ethereum shorts were liquidated in the past 60 minutes. I showed you Tom Lee's prediction there as well. The caveat on top is XRP is actually beating Ethereum with worth of trading, because it was Coinbase's second largest moneymaker in terms of their crypto trading. I think that will change this quarter because of the amount of hype Ethereum's now experiencing, but I wouldn't discard XRP at all. What I'm going to do is get ready for my morning forecast show. A lot of information coming in the morning, so I hope you appreciated this this watch party. What is Ethereum at right now? It is pumping, isn't it? 4,600, holding strong. All-time highs could happen this week, and that can happen very shortly. You can now see Ethereum is actually pumping up right now. What is XRP doing as well? Look at this, ADA. I literally told you about it this morning. When we were covering it this morning, it was at 76 cents, now 85 cents. Congratulations to anyone in ADA as well. Chainlink is performing well today. So, Solana is now picking up as well. Where's XRP? XRP is down here, only up 5%, but it is coming into its resistance around $3.40. So be careful with XRP. I still predict that it will go sideways in the month of August. I don't think it will make new all-time highs unless this crypto pump continues, which it might do, but it might not be XRP's time just yet. I think it will underperform the rest of Bitcoin and Ethereum at this time. Bitcoin, we are still hoping that it makes new all-time highs so that this rally can continue. It's in the hands of Bitcoin and Ethereum at this point. That's what we're going to be focusing on, and that's what my morning forecast show will be about. Remember, Bullish IPO is happening tomorrow as well, so stay tuned for that. We're going to be looking at the Bullish IPO. Unfortunately, here in the UK, I haven't found a way to buy that IPO. In the US, you can do it through Robinhood, but that's not financial advice. That's just me giving you some information because people are asking. So thank you everyone for tuning in. Where are we going after this? I don't think Martyn is live still. I think Martyn ended, I think. Yep, I heard some people came in from Martyn's show, so I assume he ended. So where we're going to go is probably the extra channel. So thank you everyone for tuning in. What a day. Congratulations to everyone. Let's just have a look at a few of these comments. Trading 212 ICE is better. Yeah, trading 212 is pretty good. There was other options here in the UK. Nothing is like amazing here in the UK compared to others. I use 212 more. Yes, I use 212 more. I'm disappointed with Robinhood UK. Yep, so am I, Andrew. I actually went to their first 2 years ago when they were they're bringing market participants in to give feedback on their app. It was unreleased, only for a select few, and we got invited in. Anyway, I raised many issues with them, and they fixed a few, but certainly not most of them. I'm not actually allowed to say too much from that meeting I had. Someone from the UK used leverage for crypto. Can give me one exchange. KuCoin, if you want to use leverage. Yeah. Is BlackRock coming out of XRP ETF? I think they will at some point. I think they're going to regret that they're not in it. But I think BlackRock did say they weren't interested at the moment, but I'm sure they will be interested. They'll change their mind very quickly. So thank you everyone for tuning in. Get ready for the morning forecast show. Make sure you are subscribed. We go live with all information tomorrow morning. Bullish IPO, PPI. It's not going to stop. We're going to be going full speed ahead. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other. Bye-bye.